Hi, thanks for joining me. Our practice today will be some ab stuff. I know you're excited, but it's really good for us, and you do as much or as little as you wish to do. We'll be having some regular old yoga postures in there, but we're going to warm up our core and then and just kind of play with a few things. So listen to your body always, and we'll begin. So we're going to start on our back. So come onto your mat. And start with your knees bent, feet on the ground. Feeling the back of the head, the tops of the shoulders. You'll probably feel your sacrum on the ground, of course your feet. There might be that little space in your low back, which is fine. The arms are out by your sides and the palms are face up. So let these shoulders come back and down. So just kind of feeling that for a moment. If you need a few little wiggles to kind of get yourself settled in, feel free to get some wiggles on. Maybe the eyes close. Or they just soften. And just take a big breath in. And a nice long sigh of the mouth. Good, we'll do a couple of those. So in through the nose. The exhale out of the mouth. Just let your muscles get a little heavier into the mat. And one more. And then we'll just start to take that breath in and out of the nose. So feel in your body, fill on up, and then feel in your body empty out. You may notice how your belly might rise as you inhale. And the ribs might expand and your chest might lift up. And then as you exhale, all that just gets to release downward as you empty out. So we just take a couple of moments just to connect the mind to this body and just noticing our breath, starting to set it up for our practice. It's going to help us as we move forward. Those long breaths in and just nice long emptying out breaths. Nice. And then from here, we're just going to start to bring some movement back to your body. So for the next minute or so, do what would feel good. Would it feel good just to have some little wiggles in the fingers or maybe moving those knees a little side to side? For some of us, it might feel good just to kind of slowly stretch our bodies out. See what that's about. You know, do what feels good. Maybe you want some circles on your feet and the wrists. Take another 30 seconds or so to do what would feel good. Just listening to your body and taking those long breaths in and out. Great. And then we're going to come back to center. And now right here, let's stretch our bodies out. So reach your legs out to one end of your mat. Reach your arms to the other end. So thumbs are going to be down and the pinkies are going to be up. So that means the hands are facing each other. The palms are facing each other. And we'll inhale and stretch your arms and legs away from each other. Maybe you open your toes and open your fingers real wide. And then as you exhale, just be soft. Good. Inhale, big stretch. And then exhale, soften. Great. And then from here, we're going to bend the knees. The arms are going to come out to the sides like in a little bit of a T, or you can have like goalpost arms, so the elbows and shoulders are in line with each other. Let the feet be as wide as your mat. So the knees are wider, and the feet are as wide as your mat. And then just take a breath here. And as you exhale, just take the knees on over to the right. One to the right. And then inhale, come on back to center. And then exhale, go left. Being easy. So we're setting up this breath, inhaling to center. As you exhale, you go to the right. You inhale back on up to center, moving slow. Exhale, head to the left. And just keep moving with your breath. Breathing in to center. Exhale one direction. Inhale and back on up. And exhale and go the other side. One more time each side. Breathe in. Nice. And then back on here. Great. From here, bring the hands down by your side. The palms are going to be down and step your feet close together. And then heels are going to be close to your tush. Now, the knees, the knees and the hips are in line with each other. So we don't have to have the knees squeezing. A little further apart's better. And the heels are just going to be close to your tush. So maybe those fingers could even touch them. The shoulders, they might want to roll up. See if you can bring them back and down so that that upper back is nice and broad. You feel your collarbones going out to the sides of the room. And we're just sort of setting up for a bridge pose. Before we do that, though, we're going to play with just tilting the pelvis. So right now, you might feel that arch in your low back. So take a breath here, and as you exhale, try and push your low back into the ground. So that means your pubic bone is going to try and come to your belly button, and you're flattening that out. So feeling that sensation. And then as you inhale, release that. So you're back at neutral. Good. Exhale. Pubic bone to belly button, squeezing all that air out. Belly button drawing in. And then inhale, release. Good. One more. And then release. Good. Now right here, the back of the head is just resting on the ground. So the neck is nice and long. There's no pressure around that neck at all. So we're going to move into bridge pose. So before we move into that, push down into your feet. Feel that. Push down into the inner part of your foot. Like the right behind that big toe, the ball of the foot. Yeah, so just feeling that pressure and feeling the legs engage. Take a breath, and then just soften a little bit. Good. Now we'll move. So as you inhale, start to curl your tail up, and then lift up, pushing on those feet, and we're just coming into an easy bridge. Okay. You only go as high as your body wants to go. So we're stretching out these hip flexors. Those are those muscles on the front side of where your leg and your pelvis comes together. So just kind of stretching that out. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, we're going to roll down. So we start at the top of the spine, up by the upper back, through those scapula, through all those ribs, through your low back. Then the pelvis touches, and then you get to soften your tush. Good. Push into your feet. Inhale starts to curl your tail up, lifting. So when we come into bridge pose, we're pretty much pushing down into our feet. These arms are helping to balance us. The tops of the shoulders, that's what's getting a little bit of pressure, and the back of the head. Everywhere else is either working or is soft. Take another breath. And then as you exhale, slow rolling down. Good, curling that tail up until the very end, and then it gets to soften. From here, bring the knees into the chest. Yeah. And then take the knees out to the sides. The feet are going to touch. Yep. And the hands are just going to be on the legs. So we're just feeling that. Just opening up the hip joint. The hands can just kind of be, if you make a little flexion in your wrist, the knees might just rest in the hands. Or if it feels better to let go, just to kind of feel the weight, then sometimes that's good too. So you give yourself as much support as you need. Good. Take a breath in and a breath out. Good. So right here, we're just going to take the hands on the outsides of the knees again, and then just take the feet up. Yeah. So we're supporting our legs with our hands. Okay, and the feet are up, and maybe we flex the feet. Good. So this is kind of a happy baby, but it's pretty early in our practice yet, so I don't necessarily want to start to grab for the shins or my feet. I just want to kind of open up the hips a little bit, feeling these inner thighs, starting to get a stretch in there, and supporting myself with the, yeah. So just pause for a breath. Exhale out. If you feel like you need a little bit more, then maybe let the hands just kind of hold onto the calves. Yeah. Just go as much as you need to. Or as little, which is one of my faves. Good. Take a breath here, and then as you exhale, bring the feet back in, toes are going to touch, knees are going to come in, Feet are gonna go down, stretch it out. Reach your arms and legs away from each other. Yeah, big, big stretch. And then be soft. Okay, here we go. Bend in the knees. Knees come into the chest. Give yourself a wiggle side to side. Right on. From here, we're going to take the legs straight on up. Take the arms on up. Yeah, so pubic bone to belly button. Feel your low back pushing into the ground. So we're going to start working this core. So the core is not just your abs, but it's actually all the way around. It's kind of like a nice little brace all the way around from your belly button to the sides, to your back, and all the way wrapped around. Open your fingers wide, flex your feet. Take a breath, and as you exhale, take your right leg forward. Let it drop down. It can maybe just go right here. Keep your low back on the ground, or it might go further. Go as far as your back tells you to go. Take a breath, and now the left arm's going to reach back. Kind of like you're like a little tin soldier. Take a breath here, and then as you exhale, bring them both back to center. Good. Left leg is to hover. Go as far or as little as you need. Pubic bone to belly button. Feel your back pressing into the ground, and then take the right arm back. Pause for a breath. Breathe in. Exhale out. Big inhale, and as you exhale, come right back on up. Good. Take a breath, and then bend the knees, bring them into your chest. Good. Feet come down, stretch your body out. So we're working the hip flexor, and then we're also stretching it out. All right. Bend the knees. Bring them on in, hands on top of the knees. Maybe we give a little wiggle again. Great. And then from here, we're going to bring the arms down by our sides. Okay. We're going to have the knee and the hip in line. As best we can. Flex your feet. Yeah. Now notice if you have that low back arch, draw it in. Pubic bone to belly button. Feel that strength. You're nice and strong there. And then right here, this is perfect. Take a breath in and a breath out. Good. And then right here, if you'd like, you can bend the elbows, pushing down into your elbows and trying to draw your back down. But again, you're having that pubic bone to belly button. I can't say it enough. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, take the right foot down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, left side. Inhale, come up. Right side again. Exhale. And then inhale, come back. And it might not hit the ground, it might just hover. Exhale. Good. Inhale, comes up. One more time each side. Right leg goes down. Inhale, come up. Left leg goes down. And then come back on up. Awesome job, guys. Bring the knees in. Give yourself a wiggle. And then stretch it on out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good job. Take a breath in and a breath out. We're going to roll on over to your belly. So you can bend the knees and just roll on over. And really get these hip flexors to stretch out more. So we bring one hand on top of the other, elbows out to the sides, foreheads down, and then let the feet be just a little bit wider, and then just wiggle your tush side to side. Awesome. Then come on back to stillness, bend your knees, flex your feet, and then just kind of windshield wiper the feet side to side. Breathe in, breathe out. Awesome. Good. And then back to center we come. Let the legs come on down. Great. And then bring the legs close together. And then think about the tops of your feet pushing into the ground. And all of your toes pushing into the ground. Push down into your pubic bone. Maybe the knees come off of the ground. And then from here, we're going to take the arms out in front of us and then pull the elbows underneath your shoulders. This is a little Sphinx pose. So then we're going to lift up. Lift up the chest, we're pushing away, and you're gently drawing your belly button towards your spine. Your pubic bone's gently pressing down, your tops of your feet are pressing down, you maybe press down into the hands. If this doesn't feel good in your body, you can always bring the hands a little more forward. That's a possibility too. Take a breath in. The gaze is just kind of downward. So we're not lifting this chin up, we're not squinching our neck, we're trying to get some length in the back of the neck. One more breath here. Nice. And then slowly take the elbows out, bring the body back down. One hand rests on top of the other. Let the feet go easy. Maybe move the heels in and out. Just little wiggles. And a little wiggle in your tush, side to side. Great. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, or kind of a little bit further back, or kind of in the rib area. We're going to push up to all fours. So breathe in, come up to all fours. And then the hips go back to the heels. Slow, slow, slow. Take your time. Coming into that child's pose. Dropping the head down. Maybe the arms come down. If that doesn't feel good, you can always kind of do like a puppy pose. So maybe your tush is more in the air. Usually the one that feels okay. For some of us, the knees being close together feels good. And then for others of us, the knees being wider feels pretty good. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. Good. And then come on up to all fours. Breathe into all fours. And then as you exhale, just move on to your tush. To a nice easy seat. Yeah. So the hands can be on top of the knees. One foot is kind of helping to hold the knees up. And then we're going to inhale and just bring the heart forward. And then as you exhale, pull it back. It's like little easy seated cows and cats. So you can come forward, breathing in. And then exhale, pulling back. And then coming forward and going back. So for some of us, it feels good to kind of add a little movement. So maybe you move around a little bit with that. You can drop the head. You can go both directions. Do what feels good in your body. Breathing in and breathing out. And if you're doing multiple sides, be sure to catch both sides. All right, so let's all make our way back to center. All righty, here. So we're going to reach the arms out, and we're going to take the hands up. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, left hand goes to the right knee, right hand goes back by your sides, kind of by your hip. Get real tall, and then look on over towards the right. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. The right arm's going to go high. Breathe in, and then get yourself a nice little lean. So this left hand's kind of pulling on the knee, but the knee is pushing down. So it just kind of gives us a little bit more stretch. Go as much as you need. And then inhale, come on up, and take that arm down. Good. And then from here, bring this left hand out in front of you. And again, the right hand's kind of off to the side. Take a breath. And as you exhale, we're just going to kind of lean a little bit. And then walk the hands forward. And then slowly bend the elbows. Yes, now we're catching that other side a little bit. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good, and then inhale, come on up, and walk the hands back, and then unwind. Good, arms out and up, inhale, right hand, left knee, left hand goes back by our sides, get real tall, good, and then look on over to the left, take a breath here. Good, Left hand comes up, inhale. Then we get a nice little lean on. Yeah, seeing how that feels. Again, right hand's gonna try and pull on the knee, but the knee's gonna push away. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. And then come all the way up. Drop that arm down. And then take that right hand out in front a little bit, out to the sides. Still kind of looking over towards that left knee. Take a breath. And then walk the hands forward. And then it's that slow little bow. Maybe the hands walk a little bit more. So sides can be different. One side might be so much more happy than the other. And you just take what you get today. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Good. And then come all the way up. Unwind. And we're going to switch our cross, whatever you did. We're going to switch the other way. Great. And then we're going to do that same thing. Right hand, or left hand, right knee, right hand goes back. Get tall. Look on over. Right hand goes up. Breathe in. Get that nice little lean on over. Take a breath here. Inhale brings us up. Drop the arm down. Left hand comes out in front of you a little bit. Get nice and tall. Walk the hands as much or as little, and then start that bow. Yeah. I'm noticing that this side is way more tight than the other side. And it's one of those things where we just kind of notice. Take a good big breath. Breathe into that spot that's tight, and then imagine exhaling and letting it be softer. Good, and then come all the way up. Walk your body back. Unwind. Switch your sides. So right hand, left knee, left hand goes back. Get tall. And then we get a nice little twist on. The left hand's going up. Breathe it on up. Get our little lean on. Yeah. Pause for a breath here. Good. And then come all the way up. Drop that arm down. Reaching that right arm forward, and then we walk it on out. Slowly bowing down, a little or a lot. It's whatever feels better in your body. Finding your sweet spot, and take that breath. Good. And then slowly coming up, walking these hands on back. Great, you guys. We're going to come on to hands and knees now. So, come on over, hands and knees. Wrists right underneath your shoulders and the knees right underneath your hips. And then again, we're going to go with that little cows and cats. So inhale, drop in the belly, looking up. Exhale, pull your belly button to your spine as you arch your spine up to the ceiling. Inhale, we look up. Exhale, we come forward. And one more. Exhale. Nice. From here, we're going to inhale, drop the belly, look up, curl your toes, and then exhale, take your hips right on up, coming into your down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. So just stretching your legs out and the back. And we're trying to push away with these hands. You can bring a bend into those knees if you need your tush to go a little higher. And it's all about pushing away with the hands. So getting that length in the spine. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Good. And then from here, we're just coming right back onto those knees. Great. And then we're just going to kind of play with a little bit of bird dog. So right here, find your nice neutral spine. The gaze is down. And we're going to take the right leg back. So taking that right leg back, stand the ball of the foot, push back through the heel. Feeling that stretch first. Nice. And then flex your foot and then let the foot come up, or the toes can stay down too, either way. but just lift the heel no higher than your hip. So if you find that you're arching up in your spine, bring it down. Bring that leg down. And then leaning into the right hand and now push away. So we're not sinking the chest into the shoulder. We're pushing away, being super strong in the shoulder. Then we can either just lighten up on this left hand, maybe step it out in front, or maybe reach it out in front of us. Take a breath in and a breath out. So drawing that pubic bone to the belly button, so nice and strong. Good. One more breath here. So this is just working that back side of our core. And then bring the hand down and bring the knee down. We're going to switch out. So left leg goes back. Good. Push back through the heel so you get that nice stretch first. And then when you're ready, either keeping the toes right there or lifting the foot up no higher than your hip. Leaning into that left hand, pushing away to stabilize the shoulder, and then reach the right arm out in front of us. Thumb up, pinky down. Flexing your foot. Super strong back side. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. One more. And then the hand comes down and then the knee comes down. And then open your knees nice and wide. Bring your big toes to touch and bring your hips back to your heels. Yeah. And then just drop the arms down. Maybe drop the chin and the chest down. Now, if it's better for you to be a little up higher up, that's perfect too. Go to the one that feels all right. Long breath in and a long breath out. All right. So right here, we're going to play with getting a little bit more engagement in that core. And this is going to be the side bodies. So we're going to lift up the body and walk on over to the right side of your mat. And then bow down. So more than likely, as you bow down, you're going to feel a big old stretch on that left side. Hopefully. So let's take a couple breaths into that left side just to kind of really engage that area. Imagine breathing into your left lung, and so all those ribs are expanding. You're getting maybe a little bit more stretch between your hip and the ribs to your armpit. Big breath in, and then exhale out. Good. So now I want to have you bring some awareness over to that right side. It's the side that's kind of squishing together right now. So imagine breathing into that left side. So inhale, expand there. And as you come to your exhale, squeeze your right ribs to your hips. Squeeze in that side body. And then the inhale, we think about the left. Expanding and stretching and making space. And then the right side, as we exhale, we squeeze it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good. And then one more. Inhale into the left. Exhale into the right. Awesome. We're going to inhale, lift up the body. Walk on over. Come back to center and bow. And now notice the difference maybe between your right and your left. And then we'll catch our second side. So we're going to inhale, lift up and look up. Walk on over to the left now. Oh, this is going to feel good. We're going to bow down. And now you get to stretch out that right side that just worked. So pausing here for a few before we start to engage that left side. Think about the right side. Think about expanding, making space, filling up your body with air, and emptying out. Awesome, guys. Breathe into that right side. Exhale, we're squeezing the left rib and hip together. Squeeze in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Empty, empty all that air. And then inhale into the right. Exhale, squeeze in that left side. Ribs to hips, squeeze. Good. And then one more. Inhale into the right. And exhale into the left. Right on, guys. Come on. Back to center. Lift the body. bowing down. And then we're going to come on up to all fours. So coming up to all fours, bring the knees back into center. And then we're going to walk the hands forward, bend your elbows, come all the way onto the ground. Oh yeah, just letting those hip flexors stretch out again. Give yourself a little wiggle side to side. All right, find some stillness and then just bend your right knee. So the foot's going to go up to the ceiling and flex it. Bring one hand on top of the other. So you can have your head kind of resting on that, on the hands there. And then it's barely any movement, you guys. We're trying to lift the knee off the ground. So I apologize for any Charlie horse that you may get in the back of your leg. So we're just lifting up the foot as best we can, a little bit, and then release it. Good, a little lift up. And exhale, release. And then one more, lift and up. And release. Good, let that leg go back down. Then we'll catch the second side. So we're just bending that other knee, the foot's up to the ceiling. For some of us, it's just pushing down into the pubic bone and feeling your hip pushing down. For others of us, we might barely get a millimeter off of that knee off the ground. Breathe. And then release it down. Inhale with that little lift. Heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, come on down. And one more. Breathe in. Exhale, come on down. Awesome, guys. Take the leg down. Give your body a little wiggle. Great. Bring the hands in the rib area. Push up to all fours. Breathe in. Exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, comes back to all fours. Breathe in. Curl your toes. Hips are going to go high, down dog. Yeah, so stretching that out. Again, bringing a bend in those knees, a little or a lot. Take a breath in and a breath out. So right here, we're going to reach the right leg way up to the sky. So reach it back and up. Good, like a little three-legged down dog. Then we're going to open up the hip. So one hip's going to kind of stack on top of the other. So it's going to, again, get into that hip flexor. If you like, you can bend the knee and it just gets you even more, maybe. Breathe in. We can have the shoulders be more facing towards the mat than towards the right. Doing the best we can. Good. And then extending the leg, closing the hip, bringing the toes down. We'll catch the second side. So left leg goes way up and back. Push away with these hands. Good. And then open the hip. So one hip stacking on top of the other. See what you feel. And then bend in the knee. That heel is going towards your tush. Breathe in. Breathe out. Yeah, just get that nice stretch. And then extending the leg, closing the hips, bringing the toes down, bringing the knees down. Hips to heels. Exhale. Inhale brings you back on up to center. And then exhale, go back again. And then inhale, come on back to center. Now right here, we're going to walk the hands just a little bit forward. Push away. And then just slowly drop your hips. Now bring the shoulders back and down. Just like it's just kind of a little bit of a up dog with the knees on the ground. Good. And then lift your hips up. Slow, bring the hips back. Yeah. Nice. And then we're just going to come right back on up to all fours and then bring our tush on the ground again. Nice. Good work, you guys. And then just find that nice little easy seat. Shoulders back and down. Up, back and down. Up, back and down. And up, back and down. Great. And then from here, let's go ahead and come on to our back. So bend in the knees, and again, we get to roll on down. Yeah. Good. From here, we're going to cross our right knee on top of the left. Right knee crosses on top of it, like you're sitting like a lady. Yeah. And then from here, we're going to gently bring the knees into the chest. The hands can meet on top of the knees. So right here is perfect. You're going to be feeling some sensation on the opposite hip, on this side. So on that right side. The hands can stay right here, or you can flex the feet and maybe the hands come down a little bit more. You can even bring the feet to where they're going out to the sides of the room. So you're getting a big external rotation sort of in that right hip. Let the back of the head just be easy. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. One more. And then gently release the legs. Bring the feet on down. Now, take the arms out into the little cactus arms or out to the sides. Either way is fine. And then right here, we're going to take a breath. And then we're just going to head on over towards the left. Taking the knees on over. Now, if you get here and you're like, oh, I hate this. This does not feel good. Come back up, uncross, and just take the knees over. Either way, do the one that feels good. And then if you'd like, the gaze can go opposite of the knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then come back on up to center, uncross your legs, and now the left's going to go on top of the right. Great. And then gently bring the knees into the chest. Bring the hands on top of the knees. So hips are different. One side might be way happier than the other. The hands can meet on top of the knees. See what that's about. Or they might start to work their way onto the sides, maybe down to your ankles. And then the legs can kind of go out to the sides. Flex your feet. And the reason we flex the foot is because the knees are in a weird position. And as we flex those feet, these muscles all around the knee just help to stabilize that knee joint. So just doing as much or as little as you need. Take a breath in and a breath out. As always, you don't need to go to 150 million%. You go to the beginning of the sensation. That may mean that you release a little bit, see what that's about, and maybe you stay there. Long breath in and a long breath out. Great. And then gently release. Bring the legs on down to the ground. Good. And then the arms out into a T, and then we take the knees on over to the right. Yeah, just going as much or as little as your body wants to go. If your shoulder wants to come off the ground, let it. That's totally fine. And maybe the gaze goes opposite of your knees. And just noticing what you're feeling here. Long breath in. And a long breath out. Good. And then we slowly come on back up to center. Uncross these legs. Yeah. Bring the bottoms of the feet together and then just let the knees just go out to the sides. Your arms can be right where they are, or you might bring them onto your belly. So it just kind of depends on how much extension and open across your chest do you need. Putting the arms in any spot there. But just let these legs just open as much or as little as they need. So we did a lot of core work and work in the hip flexors, your back body. And now we get to start to move to that place where we start just to let everything start to lengthen and soften. Long breaths in and long breaths out. Good. And then bringing the hands down by your thighs, gently let those legs come up. Help use your hands to let the knees come up. And then bring the knees into the chest another time. And then we'll move into that happy baby again. So the feet are together, the knees go out to the sides. The hands can be right there, kind of holding up these knees, and the feet go up. Yeah, so for some of us, this is it. It feels pretty good. For others of us, we might hold on to the backs of the legs and just let those legs draw down. So notice when you're in this position how your spine is being, it's being supported by your mat. So that's kind of what we're looking for there. And of course, it's a big hip opener. For some of us, this feels good with the tail more facing towards the end of your mat. For others of us, we bring our hands onto the shins and the tail starts to kind of curl up, or even those outside edges of your feet. So it just kind of depends on how much that feels okay in your back, especially your low back. And if you get to any of these and you're going, oh, I don't like that, just come right back. Go to the place that your body needs it today. And that could also be with those toes in and just the knees out. You're in this little diamond shape. So you listen to your body. Some people like to rock their baby. So that's a little bit of movement side to side. Watch out for doors. And we'll just take 2 more breaths wherever you are. Breathing in. Breathing out. Nice. And then if you're holding on to legs anywhere, release that. Let the toes come back to center. Bring the knees back into center. Take your feet on down and stretch your body out. Reaching your arms and legs away from each other. Oh yeah. Big inhale. And as you exhale, just be soft. And now let the feet be about as wide as your mat. You can even go wider. And then bring the arms down by your sides. Gently tucking your shoulders back and down. If that doesn't feel good in your back, if it feels better to have the knees bent and the feet are as wide as the mat, the knees can come in towards each other. Sometimes that feels good. So you do the one that feels good in your body, whether the legs are extended or the knees are bent. And we just start to close these eyes down. Feeling your body getting heavy. Feeling the back of your head and the tops of the shoulders, all the way down your arms. And that upper back and the middle back. You may have a little bit of space in the low back, or it might be kind of flattish on the ground. And that awareness goes to your behind and into the legs and now into your feet. And just feel your body here, beginning to release the muscles. Taking a big breath in and a nice long sigh out of the mouth. Letting the body be heavy. Maybe those eyes close. And you can feel your face beginning to soften. Those eyebrows, your cheeks, your jaw. And maybe even the tongue drops from the roof of the mouth. And just having that awareness of the body breathing, effortless and easy. Taking another few more breaths to let this body rest. Nice. And then we slowly just start to bring some movement back. Maybe you take another big breath in. And you just begin to wake up. Wiggling fingers and toes. Whatever would feel good to you. Good, and then just bend the knees and roll on over to your favorite side. Maybe you use that bottom arm as a little pillow. And just take a breath there. Fill up your body. Oxygen, nourishment, all that good stuff going in. And as you exhale, think about just letting go of anything you don't need. Just let it go. And then using the strength of your arms, just bring yourself up to a nice easy seat. Finding these ears over your shoulders and your shoulders over your hips. That nice long spine, that strong core to take us into the rest of our day. And then we'll reach these arms out by our sides. And then inhale, take the hands high together, this beautiful energy from each other and from above, and press it between your hands. And as you exhale, bring that goodness to your heart. That place of love and kindness, compassion. And then bowing that to the hands in honor of our practice, in honor of each other and the time we all get to spend together. Thanks so much for joining me today and allowing me to be a part of your day. Namaste.